Hello again, everyone. Todd Michael Putnam from Creative Adventure Tables, bringing you another adventure table idea. And this one is Winterhold Overthrown. Winterhold Overthrown. And as anyone who's followed this channel knows, I am a huge Skyrim fan, as well as a huge World of Warcraft and Diablo fan. But huge Skyrim fan. I'm a fan, and Oblivion before that, and Morrowind before that. Just love the Elder Scrolls series. But in Skyrim, there is a location called the College of Winterhold, and that is, of course, where you go to learn all your magic spells and become a wizard. And there's, of course, a whole apprentice through Master Mage quest line that you go on through there. And basically, the College of Winterhold is in the frozen north area. And beneath it, there's all these catacombs and stuff with monsters and whatnot. And so the idea behind this particular one is if Winterhold were overthrown in Skyrim by evil wizards, by necromancers and conjurers and, banned fired wizards and banned ice wizards and other things that you find within the game. So to start with, on the outside, it's just basically got some of the stuff that you'd find normally in the game. Of course, there's a big polar bear that's going on. And then you've got here, I just used some winter gnolls, but it could be any kind of evil goblins or anything like that that are running through the landscape. There's always some deer that are running around to do hunting and crafting with. So I went ahead and threw some of those in there. But then, of course, eventually you end up coming to caverns themselves. And in the caverns over here, I have a whole bunch of big Yeti-like creatures, which are very common in Skyrim. They usually go around and hang out inside of natural caves and caverns and stuff. There's also back over in this corner, there's a small treasure. There's a lot of times there's a little small treasures or dead adventures and stuff like that. So, and then you can see that the pathway goes in through this small hallway right here and follows its way around. And then there's two ways to go. If you go to the left, it comes over and there's all these ice wraiths that are here. And if you manage to defeat them, there's like a little treasure back on this section here, but if you manage to defeat them, then there are some stairs going up into a room that's infested with some rats and stuff like that, and there's a doorway out. But if you continue along and you head to the right, trying to hold the camera somewhat steady, you'll come to a location here where there's some undead, what they call Draugr in Skyrim. So there's some undead wandering around that you have to work your way through. And then there's this ice troll guy that's not actually a thing in Skyrim, but he looks cool, so I just threw him in there. And there's a break in the wall going up through, and there's another rat-infested room that's been trashed that the heroes would have to contend with. And then you'd get into Winterhold proper, where you have all of the evil spellcasters. So, and some of the spellcasters in Skyrim, they'll conjure up skeletons or zombies to help fight for them. And other ones will conjure up what's called a frost atronach, which is basically sort of like a frost golem, for lack of a better term. But a frost atronach, you can see the guy over on the left right there. And then there's other ones that conjure up fire atronachs. Again, it's and the fire atronachs are more like very feminine fire spirits, and whereas the frost atronachs are very Hulk-like type creatures. And if we I gotta head around here again. If we just follow the pathway along, there's another area where there's some bookshelves and stuff. And then there's some more treasure in the back here, and of course another spellcaster. But if you come over on this side, there's two sets of stairs, depending on which door you go through. There's two sets of stairs going up, and then you get to this section here where I've got the heroes, which are the heroes from the 1980s Dungeons and Dragons cartoon from early morning, from when I grew up, so I got them. I'll swing around for a better view of that. In fact, I'll do it this way, so it's a little faster. Trying to hold the camera steady. So there we go, there's a better view of them. And you can get those guys from WizKids. They're fantastic, I love them. Doesn't have the unicorn character, the Uni, or the Bobby the Barbarian, but it's got the other four, so we'll go with that. And then, of course, in the final end boss room, you've got, you know, 3 spellcasters together, and they've got a Frost Atronach, and there's an altar there, and of course there's spell scrolls and books and stuff. I know in the game you can find books that give you either teach you spells or that give you skill points for the various whatever the book is about, whether it's archery or sneaking or conjuration or anything like that. But so that's it. That's basically the layout. And then as far as what it's made from, the main tower here of Winterhold is that's all Dwarven Forge, with the exception of these little things right here. These, I can't remember, they're 3D prints that I got offline. They're basically little stands where mages write up stuff and whatnot. But all the stairs and the doors and the LED torches and all that kind of stuff is Dwarven Forge. The minis are almost entirely from WizKids. I pretty much buy exclusively WizKids minis and have for years, because most of them are pre-painted and I have to get so many in such volume that if I spent all my time painting minis, I'd never have time to build dungeons. So the minis are all from WizKids and I highly recommend them. The frozen caverns below, all those things there, are also from Dwarven Forge, but it's one of their original resin sets and it's no longer in production. So I had to buy them off of a gentleman in Germany who sent them to me in pristine condition. I was lucky enough to get 3 sets. They're pretty pricey, but they're really great. They're highly detailed, and they just look fantastic, the job that they did. So let me pan over to here and you can just see the quality of the work that goes into them. Is really just outstanding. So if you ever get an opportunity to get them and it's within your budget to do so, you won't regret them. But they are resin, so you have to be very careful. Unlike the new stuff, which is all Dwarvenite, that stuff you can huck against the wall or against a concrete floor and you're not going to damage them at all. The resin works obviously are not going to make it not fare so well. The battle mat itself is also from WizKids, from their winter set. I have 2 of them side by side. I believe they're 5 foot by 3 foot, if my memory serves correctly. And I have 2 of them side by side, so it fills up the table. And then by chance, if this is the table that I'm actually running, I just have trays that I can set up next to it, like eating trays, and the players can roll their dice and stuff on that. It's no big deal. And then any area that they haven't explored, I just throw over black poster board on top of it to create a fog of war effect. So that's all that is. And then the whole outside area is all Monster Fight Club. And I love all their stuff, but their winter stuff especially is just top notch. It's just to die for, really. So these trees are all modular. So you can take different and just set them up to the size that you want. For example, these are the same exact trees. This tray base is the same, but this one has 1, 2, oops, if I can pull it off, 3, and then it sits on there, whereas this one I only put 2, and you could also only put 1, and there's actually you could actually change it so that there's 4 of them there, because there's another smaller one than this. So you can have different sized trees. These are the ones, this is from their Ice Wild set, ICEWILDS. Looks fantastic. This is also from their Ice Wilds. It's more like a blighted pine type thing. Then they also have bushes of various 2 various types of bushes. One large set that's got winter snow on it, and then another smaller one like this. The dead trees that are here, this one and that one, are all from the Ice Wilds. These large things right here are from the Ice Wilds, as well as this. Those are their Frosted Hills. This is their mascot right here, and they were kind enough to send them to me. So I don't know what his name is. I got to ask him, and whatever it is, but he's the Monster Fight Club mascot. And so I have him hooked up, and he just hangs around, and I actually put him in my adventures now because he looks cool and he's fun to have. So that's what's going on with all that. They also have a different color set of trees. They've got these that are reddish colored, which are slightly different. Let me see if I can get the camera here. They're slightly different in color than those, which of course is very different than those there. So you get a lot of variety, and all of them are stackable. And then there's 2 different heights. There's a short one and there's a tall staff, basically, or a stump to put them on. So you have a ton of variety with these very simple designs in creating a forest-like effect for your adventures. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you've watched this far, please like and subscribe to help support the channel. and I will see you guys next adventure. Take care. Bye.